Good evening, everybody. Come on in, come on in.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday it is. This is the second Sunday of February, right? Yeah. Wow, already, is it? Jeez, time be going fast. Already the 8th. Okay, come on in, everybody. Come on in. We're not going to be in front of you long. We have 1 hour to be with you this evening. And we want to make sure we are using our time, put it to good use. Come on in, and welcome to another episode of Mama Said It. Today is February the 8th, 2026. How's your Sunday coming along, Plum?
It's really cold outside.
It is freezing. It definitely is. I was out there earlier, and it's definitely cold. Got to be careful, I guess. And when I woke up this morning, it was snow. It was, y'all hit some snow.
I think it snowed like a little bit, like over the cars. I could see snow on the cars. So
Mm-hmm.
so I guess it snowed a little bit.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It definitely did. Thank goodness uh, it stopped when it did.
Hmm.
That was not bad. So we're going to say a happy anniversary to those who are celebrating an anniversary today. Happy
Yes.
anniversary. Happy anniversary to whoever's celebrating an anniversary.
Yes,
Whether
yes, yes.
it's a wedding anniversary or at your job celebrating an anniversary, whether it's marriage, whatever it is, happy anniversary. And we also want to say happy birthday to those who are celebrating a birthday. I want to shout out to your cousin Phil's birthday was today, I believe, today or tomorrow.
Today. I believe it's today. I think it was today.
Happy
I believe it
birthday,
was today.
Phil.
Hmm.
Lisette, my girlfriend Lisette, her birthday. Happy birthday, Lisette.
Hmm.
Yeah, so many birthdays we're celebrating. So we want to shout out a happy birthday. This
Yes.
is
I'm trying to think. Adez's birthday, which is Breon's brother. His birthday
oh
was the day before yesterday. And then Courtney's birthday is tomorrow.
Courtney's birthday
Yes, her
tomorrow.
birthday is tomorrow.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness, happy birthday, Courtney.
Yes, that's all I can think of off the top of my head as far as birthdays, I think.
Wow, happy birthday, Courtney. That is awesome.
Yes.
Yes, my girlfriend from Buffalo, New York, from New York, Paulette Hines. Happy birthday to you. Who else is it? Sherry Rush. And of course, my niece Katrina's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Katrina. I love you, girl. Wow, I'm getting up there. And Star's birthday also. Star Johnson. Happy birthday. Shout out to you. And all those who are celebrating a birthday, if we missed you, uh, don't charge our heart. Please don't. But we're saying happy birthday to everybody. All right, as we move on from Aquarius season, they'll be celebrating until February the 18th, 2026. There's been so much going on this past week. So much going on this past week. But I do want to talk about this Nipah virus awareness. Hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Um, I don't know whether you heard about it, but it's definitely something to be alarming. They said there's no cure. I'm sure you probably heard bits and pieces about it over the last few weeks. I don't know whether you have or not.
Yes, a little bit.
A little bit here and there. You said a little bit here and there.
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
Okay. Yes. So I wanted to show this video about the illness, and I believe I don't want to put it on China. I don't want to put it on China. Nobody wants to put stuff on China, but we're going to listen in to this more information. Hold tight for me. Okay, I'm having a little issue here. Let me see. Let me just pull it back just 1 second for me. I don't know why it didn't play, but I'm going to try it one more time. Bear with us. Sometimes things don't play when you want it to play. Hold on just one. The devil is a liar. The devil's a liar. It's having a problem in coming up. So I'll try it a little later to see exactly what's going on. These technical difficulties, I think we had a little technical difficulties last week. Thought it all got straightened out, but it looks like we are still. Hey, Barbara, thanks so much for joining us, Barbara. Checking on you before the Super Bowl. Yes, the Super Bowl is today. Yes, yes, yes. Shakira, who's your team?
Neither.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, neither. So
Yeah, you are the
Giants.
the Giants. Yeah, the East
Yes.
Coast. Yeah, the
Yes.
Giants. Yeah, the Eagles. We've been out. They kicked us out a while ago. I think the game starts at 6:30, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Yes, everybody is waiting for the halftime.
Yeah. What is it? Who is it? Bad Bunny, I
Bunny.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're waiting for the halftime to see exactly who all is going to be included. But the Seahawks and the Patriots. So made a better team win. Made a better team win. All right, as we continue to move forward, I do want to say, speaking of a celebrity, I want to chime in on. I don't know if you heard about Gorilla's sister was on TMZ and all across social media
Yeah.
when
Gorilla. Yeah. Her sister. The madness of it all.
yeah, money, fame, and family drama. She feels she's speaking out saying does she feels as though her sister should be taking care of at least her mom, and herself, I guess. But they have 10 siblings.
Yeah. Um. I did go down a rabbit hole of it, of the videos, and it's very sad and unfortunate. I don't of course we don't know these people in real life, right? So
No.
we don't know. From what has been reported, this is the same sister that pulled a gun out, a weapon out on her before.
On
um
Gorilla?
yeah, they were showing some type of
Glorilla.
yeah, Glorilla. It was some type of documents or something like that. But she
What?
also said on TMZ, you know, I should be $2,500 will basically make this go
I,
away. And I know,
I thought she was gonna say a big number.
yeah, like what's the guy name from TMZ? I forgot his name.
Harvey?
Harvey. Harvey was looking like, did you just say $2,500?
Right.
Like that
Right.
was, I mean, but the words that were, it's just so sad when people just feel as though that they're entitled.
Yeah.
Yes, she made it out. Yes, I feel as though that if you are blessed, you should bless others, but you should never feel that you're entitled to anybody's pockets. And with much is given, much is required. You don't think that woman got bills wherever she living at, whatever she
You
doing?
know she do.
And her response, Glorilla response, was a thread of her mom saying thank you so much for what you do for me, type of thing.
Yeah,
So
she
this
do.
is, and I haven't seen anything of her mom saying anything. This is seemed like it's just it's the girl, and then it's another family member or a friend that's like going back and forth with the sister saying no, she do a lot for the family, and she's not like people will go broke trying to save their family. So I just feel as though that for her to get on there and say it'll go away for $2,500, I just thought that was a little wild because that
I was
she
yeah.
just sounded really
I was expecting a bigger number, to be honest with you,
yeah,
but
I
it
was
just
too.
goes to show you that the expectations of people. And then as soon as you give her $2,500, she's
That's
gonna be
not
like,
enough. It's
it's
not going
not.
to be enough.
You're gonna realize just how much that really is.
Yeah. And she was making a comment about because I think Harvey had brought up like, well, didn't your because she was like, yeah, my mom still works and my dad's did just retired or something. But some parents just still be wanting to work. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody has money doesn't necessarily mean, because it's been plenty of people that I've heard of that they try to retire their parents. Their parents like, I don't want to sit at home. I want to do something. I want to still go to work to my whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it was something like she gave her stepdad or her dad, whoever, a gift, and it was a car. And the girl was like, well, do you have evidence that she really gave it to him? Like, it's just, and it's unfortunate to put it on the internet.
It was
I
on.
don't
It's
like
all
that. I
across
never
the
like when
media.
people dirty put their laundry, their business, that's just nobody's business. If that's what you're going through, leave that to the family.
Yeah, some people do feel that, when you make it, that you should reach back and pull us all forward. People do have a tendency of feeling entitled.
Yeah. But to what degree? The
People,
way
you get
she sounded,
surprised.
it's like she shouldn't even be working ever. And
I
that,
think she was comparing her to, I guess, Glorilla is looking out for some of her friends because she's
yeah,
comparing her friends, So, but parents could do what they want with their
they,
money.
exactly. And that's where I seen the documentation of, allegedly, right? Because this is, I don't know, but it was a documentation going around that this is the same sister or sibling that pulled a weapon out on her
Oh,
years
so
and years and years ago. But it still was, I
you
mean, I
don't
don't
forget
know.
stuff like that. If you put
No.
a
So
weapon on me, look, we're done.
it's, to me, it's kind of like
We're done.
you don't know somebody's history on what their relationship is. Just because they're siblings does not mean that they were close or whatever.
Yeah, we
So
don't have no. I mean, that crosses the line. It's like, unless she was her sister on drugs, out of her mind, just doing
yeah, I
crazy.
don't know.
But sometimes people have to do certain things to get you off of them.
Yeah.
Especially if you're threatening and doing some very unusual moves that calls for a person to defend themselves. But
Well,
for her,
no, it wasn't her. It was the sister that's complaining about the money. Is the one that pulled it. Well,
or
that
put
one.
it out on Glorilla.
Yeah. That part. Yeah. So
That's sick.
it's just, I hope they get it together and get it off the internet and fix it.
Yes,
That's
sibling
all.
rivalry is something that will forever exist, sadly, but it's true. But if the love is there, if the love is deep and the love is there, they'll get through it. Because when sisters and brothers love each other, siblings love each other, there's nothing that can supersede the love. At least that's what I believe. At least with my sisters and brothers, you know, that's how I feel. At least that's me. But with my family, I think I have a fantastic family. And I don't feel as though there's anyone that is looking for a handout. Now, if a family member come and ask you to help out, that's one thing. But to just go on social media and do this whole spill, wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. Hey, Dottie, thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much for
Yeah, I died.
joining. Thanks so much for joining. Now, I don't know whether you've actually um, going to celebrate Valentine's Day, but statistics are stating that relationships last longer without Valentine's Day. Now,
Based on
whether
what?
whether that's true or not, well, it's saying that when relationships don't base their it's not all about Valentine's Day. And they also say don't take Valentine's Day to be a day to try to make up because it's going to fall apart again anyway. But for me, I think Valentine's Day is a day where people love, if you love each other, you come together and celebrate. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, we all know Valentine's Day was a day that was invented for the economy to get a boost.
Of course, like all the rest of the holidays.
Right.
So
Exactly.
majority of holidays are based around that. So I don't think that makes or breaks a relationship. I don't. Me personally, I just, if their relationship was going to tank, it was going to tank, regardless if they celebrated Valentine's Day or not. Um,
Yes.
I feel like with relationships, it's not just one thing that typically breaks it. It's like a sum. So for them
Right.
to blame, I'm not defending Valentine's Day, but to put it on there and say that, oh, the people that didn't celebrate Valentine's Day, they lasted longer, but the people that didn't, that did, they fell apart. But if those people that did celebrate it and the person was cheating or whatever, like they,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a really weird stat.
Yeah, I thought it was too, but I thought it was quite interesting that people would think that it wouldn't last longer without it. The people would come up with some of the darnest things. And
Yeah.
I think if you like Valentine's Day, because a lot of relationships like Valentine's Day. I mean, all the relationships that I've been in, we celebrated Valentine's Day. And if it was going to last long, it was going to last long anything anyway, with or without Valentine's Day, because it's only another day in your life, you know. But I think for people who are single, trying to find something to do on Valentine's Day, I tell people go to a speed party. I think it would be
But they've
fun.
turned that around too.
What do you
A
mean?
lot of that has turned around. People make Galentine's Day. They celebrate with their girlfriends, like
Oh
their
yeah,
friends and stuff like that.
yeah,
They have turned that day around for single people too. So
yes, yes. Finding something to do. Absolutely, I totally agree. I totally agree. Now I know this is something we're not going to be able to avoid to talk about, right? Even though we don't want to really give it that much energy, um, we want to get it over with and talk about it. President Donald Trump actions against the Obamas and others this past week was just appalling. It was appalling. It was just unreal. And he picked Black history. And I say Black history forever. Okay. Black history is forever. It's not a month, it's forever. At least that's how I feel. Okay. But what was your take on when you seen it come across your social media screen?
well, I'm not on what has he got, social or whatever it is. I'm not on any of that. I'm not on X. I'm only on TikTok and Instagram. So it took a little minute for it to get to social media for me to be able to, see it. I didn't think nothing of it because I think that's just who he is. I'm not shocked. I'm not necessarily a lot of people making videos about it. They're up in arms about it. But this is
Yeah,
what he
pissed
wants.
off.
He wants people to divide themselves and associate all a certain race with all of that, a certain political view with all of that, to say that they're aligned with that, especially if they're not speaking out. But I just say don't be distracted. I think it's all the distraction. Whenever he goes on a rampage, I feel like something is going on that we should be
Yep.
trying to figure out what's the bigger picture.
What else
I'm
is,
not
yeah.
shocked. I'm not surprised. I'm not like, oh, I can't believe. I'm desensitized to anything that he is doing. Yes, he chooses Black History Month to do it. Yeah, and he's trying to slap his name on any and everything that he can. Now he wants to make it with the Donald Trump Kennedy Center or something. He's trying to do whatever he
He
can.
already did that. That's done.
Okay. Well, he's trying to make a lasting mark on America. And you just have to make sure you're not being distracted by such. I chose not to address it on my social media platform. I just was talking about other stuff because I feel like it's so much other things to address. And I love the way the Obamas addressed it, as far as they didn't address him. It was just a plethora of, and everybody flooded social media. A lot of people, instead of them spewing out uh, their opinion about it, they just posted a lot of lovely pictures of
Oh yeah.
Obama and First Lady,
And
which
her
I think,
sales went up. Her sales went
yeah.
up.
And but it's not just her. It's not just him attacking the Obamas. From my understanding, Netflix, they had placed Becoming was is on Netflix, Michelle's documentary, and it was charting off the chart. Then they
Yep.
decided to put it in the kids section. Um,
Oh,
and
they
I don't
moved
think that
it.
they moved it to the kids section. Yes. Then
So
then
they,
it was a
what was that all about? I
I
didn't
don't
know that.
know. I don't think that's by chance or by accident. So
That
it's
was
just, I
intentional.
feel people are under attack, and people have to understand that when you're on the bridge of a breakthrough or something that God is about to reveal or do, it's usually when a lot of chaos happens at one time. And that's what I see in this country. A lot of chaos and nutness going around. Um, and I'm just trying to hold on to my faith and just hold on and know that God is in control and
Totally.
not be rattled by it. But I know it definitely, I mean, this is Black History Month. You up here posting monkeys, gorillas, whatever. Yeah, that was very inappropriate. He said he's not apologizing. He don't
He
see
said he's
anything
not
wrong with
apologizing. He
it.
blames it on the staff. But we know accountability, leadership, you got to take the
He doesn't
blame.
have any accountability, and he was going on a rant like. So you mean to tell me that your staff did all that posting back to back to back? That was you.
That was definitely him.
That was
I
definitely
don't
him.
believe I don't believe that that was his staff. I just don't believe it because he
I don't
made so
believe it
many
either.
videos saying that it's him,
Yep.
that
Yep.
he's the one that controls his social media,
Yeah.
or he dictates what he wants to go out.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now,
And
nah,
he doesn't take me as someone that would happen to. You know, you have some people that like, okay, well, maybe maybe they don't control their own social media, but he seems like he's very hands on what he wants to run his mouth about, because
yeah.
that's what he's known for. So I just believe that he definitely put it out there and he knew what he was doing, and he's getting the response that he expected out of some, but not all.
Not all. I just want to play what Obama had to say. Just one moment. Sometimes silence is the loudest power you hold. Not every battle needs your voice. Not every insult deserves your reply. Not every situation requires your energy. There's strength in holding back and not reacting, in choosing peace over proving a point. There we have it. So sometimes you have to, that silent thing is powerful, because when people go silent on you, the one thing you be like, I wonder what they're thinking. I wonder what they're thinking. But yeah, this was unreal. But we're going to continue to celebrate Black history forever, not just in February, but it's forever. It is forever. It is a forever thing. Um, but I tell you what, we're learning a lot as we continue to move forward. I don't know whether there were a lot of a lot of the Republican parties. I don't know how many spoke out, but I'm sure there were some that was definitely not pleased because
Yeah.
Obama's they likable people
Yeah, and
for the
everybody's
most
not
part.
gonna go for that mess. But the
No,
thing of it is that we all know that if this was Obama and Obama would have put something up there for whatever, it would not be going the way. It would definitely be, get out of here, you can't be president no more, so on and so forth. But
right,
that's not the world that we live in. So
right, exactly, exactly, exactly. I totally agree with you. I totally agree. One of the things I wanted to talk about, because this is happening a lot more now than I've ever seen before, the marketplace safety first, always meet in police stations or public place. I want to talk about, because a lot of people, it was just recently something really devastating happened to a young lady who, I believe it was her husband, may have put an automobile on the marketplace and it turned it up where she was unalive along with her baby. Um, I don't know. Did you hear about that, Plum? Can you hear me?
yes, I'm sorry, I was on mute. No, I didn't hear about it. I heard different instances. I don't do marketplace or any of those things because of safety, because I'm a scaredy cat. Like, for me, if I ever did it, I would have to use somebody else's car. I would have to rent a car to go to the place. I would want to put a wig on. I would want to do all these drastic measures so that you can never link me back to me. Because if you're driving, yeah, if you meet somebody at a police station, that's cool. But if they have your driver's, I mean, your tag numbers, that's searchable. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of these different things. So and people usually use their real names, and but you don't want to use a fake name because you don't want to seem scammy. But it's just like, yeah,
Right.
it's too risky for me, so I don't
Yeah.
necessarily partake. But I know people that do, and they haven't had any bad instances, which I'm thankful for. But definitely have to
Yeah,
be
I've,
safe.
I've done a lot of sales through the marketplace, meeting people, at various public locations, but it's making me more cautious now because of all the things that are coming out. So let me see what I can pull this up. Will it work this time? Before it wasn't working for me, and I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. It's a little different than previous. I don't know why it's not pulling up. For some reason, I'm not able to show the footage. I'm not able to show the footage, and I'm unsure why this is happening. I have no answers. Failed Zoom. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, it was an incident where the young lady, I guess he couldn't get to her husband, to the husband, so he kind of went after the wife and the baby, and end up stabbing her over. It was over 50 times, and including the baby and also the dog. So it was over a vehicle. This also happened a few weeks back. Another gentleman, in this particular incident, he actually invited the buyers to his house. It was a cell phone. They were buying a cell phone. He invited them to his home to buy the cell phone, and they unalived him. He was able to call, I believe, his family and tell them that he loved them. And yeah, it was just crazy. So one of the things I definitely want to make sure, and I know people are smart, but sometimes people tend to forget that, we're still living in a dangerous world where people are vicious and they do vicious things. So we never want to invite anyone to our home. No buyers to the home unless you know them, right? Unless you know them. Never give out your home address. Never meet at a workplace, right? Because that's accessible. They can come back. Never share friend or relatives address. Never meet in secluded or poorly lit areas. Never meet late at night or after dark. Never go alone. Bring someone or tell someone where you're going. Never accept payment methods you don't trust or understand. Never let the buyer rush you or pressure you. And last but not least, never ignore your instincts. Your instincts. If it feels off, walk away. Tell them I'm not doing it. Hopefully, those tips will help, because in the world that we're living in today, we definitely have to be very, very careful. Extremely careful. Extremely careful. Let me see. Let me just go back out here. Yeah, so sad to say that that has happened. I know that I wanted to talk about this a little bit about the news reporter's mother who was kidnapped, which is strange that they're reporting it on social media the way that they are. They contacted TMZ about it. Um, but I'm hoping that the mother is found alive. I haven't heard anything since Friday, but I will follow up. I don't know what have you been keeping up with it? Do you know?
No, I haven't been keeping up with it. When I heard of it on the news, but no, I haven't been. It seems a little fishy. The whole like everything
Very
surrounding it. It
fishy.
seems like the camera went out and then this other camera went out. Like just seemed at that exact moment, it just seems weird. Two
Yeah,
cameras that's different that's going out at the same time. It just seems a little weird for me.
very, very, very weird. Very weird to me too. Yes. Now I know you probably heard about this, that the Trumps are suing the IRS for $10 billion over leaked tax information. $10 billion just suing the IRS. But let's keep in mind the taxpayers' info has been leaked by the IRS for years, impacting millions of people such as us, okay, because they never disclose who was actually affected by this, but millions with no compensation. Now the Trump sued for $10 billion. If their breach matters, should our names be added? I say so.
Yeah, but that will be a long shot. But yeah,
I
absolutely.
say so. I say so. But I mean, it was good for them. It's good for us,
Absolutely.
and I, that's been happening a lot. Their data have been leaked, and they didn't write us to say who was affected. We didn't hear any information that someone received notification that their information had been hacked or have been compromised in some sort of way. None of that information was disclosed that I've heard of. I've asked some of my colleagues who are in the business. They haven't heard anything either. It just went away. Now all of a sudden there's a $10 billion lawsuit for the Trumps because their tax information was leaked. And it was the gentleman got a job from Internal Revenue Service allegedly. And I don't know whether he got the job intentionally to leak the information once he got hired with IRS, but once he got inside of the IRS, their information was leaked. He's now serving time.
Wow.
He's now serving time for that. Sadly, but it's true. I don't know whether I wanted to show this video, but I'm going to tell you to please follow. We might have some comments, and I don't want to ignore our comments. We did say hello to Barbara and Dottie. Hey, Pam. Thanks for joining us, Pam. I see y'all exchanging loves in the comment section. That's so wonderful. I love that. Yes, yes. Dottie said, I think she's back. Oh, thank you, Dottie. You said, I think she is back. Oh, she's back? The mother? Are you talking about the mother from the kidnapping situation? That you think she is back? Wow. I would be so happy. Oh my goodness. I hope she's back. And I hope that's what you're referring to, Dottie. I pray this I pray this mother is found. Wow. Yeah, that would be such good news. That would be such good news. But anyway, as we move forward, I do want to mention this gentleman. You might have seen him on social media. His name is Vernon Jackson. He's a barbershop who serves special needs clients, children. Is his his niche worldwide, and he doesn't charge. It's free to children. It's free. These are special
Honest.
needs. I would like to show the video, but it seems like I'm not able to show any videos. But if you are on social media, please go and look up Vernon Jackson. He's on TikTok. He's on Facebook. He's on YouTube. You can find him. He has a barbershop, and you can see him actually interacting with these kids as he's giving them haircuts. So unique, so patient. I mean, he's actually training other barbers. You can get a certificate, and you can go to his website, www.thegifted.event.com, and you can actually get a certificate. I guess he's going to show you how to be patient, because being patient when you cutting people hair or doing somebody's hair, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I was a cosmetologist for many, many years, a hairstylist. And people used to come in with their little picture of Janet Jackson, or they wanted to be like Holly Berry. They showed a picture. And sometimes people don't realize if you don't have the same shape face, the shape of your face makes a big difference of how the hairstyle is going to come out. So be having patience, especially as a hairstylist. My hats goes out to him. So if you are on social media, please look up Vernon Jackson. I think he's a phenomenal young gentleman. He's got so much patience. He's doing so much for the community. And if you find it in your heart that you want to sponsor a haircut, you can also go to his website and you can sponsor a haircut for a child, because that's how he's able to give the haircuts out for free, is through the public donations.
That's beautiful.
Is through the public donations. We're gonna move right along because I know the Super Bowl is on, y'all. So I might have to end this a little early. I don't mean to, Plum, but it's not every day that the Super Bowl comes on, right? It's not every day that the Super Bowl comes on. But before we go, I do want to say, I want to talk about the 12 things you must do right away. And I know many of you may have heard about Elon Musk making a statement, he said that the United States is headed 1000% towards bankruptcy, being bankrupt. That's alarming because the United States have never been close to bankrupt. We've, been in debt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, the name of the game is debt. But now to make these accusations that there's a possibility that the United States is going to be facing bankruptcy is quite alarming. Now, we know, many of you may know, that there's approximately $38.5 trillion that the U.S. has a national debt, and it's increasing. Okay, there's no doubt
Yeah,
about
Trump is out here
Huh?
redoing ballrooms and doing all the unnecessary stuff. And the thing that have always baffles me, we're in all this debt, but we still have all these homeless people. We're in all this debt, but we still have people living on the street. It doesn't make, to me, it just doesn't make sense.
And we're supposed to be the richest nation,
Yeah,
right? We're supposed to be the richest nation, but
the greediest nation.
the greediest nation,
That's what I.
absolutely, by far the greediest nation.
Mhm.
And it's, when the thing that I kind of thought about when I read about Elon Musk making this statement, and he didn't make the statement just once. He's made it a few times, and he's been saying it over and over again for the last few months. And he said it as recent as February the 5th, I think it was the last time he said it. He was in an interview and he made this claim. And I'm saying to myself, what is he that he knows? Because he's warning the American people. He must know something.
Yeah.
So my thought was, if that was to happen, what will we be facing and what should we know now?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that it was very important for us to share some of the most important things that we need to do immediately. And I know some of these things people are going, I'm not doing that right now. But the crazy part is when something happens and someone told you what you should or what's recommended to do, and you don't do it, and something drastically happened, and then you say, darn, I should have did that. I should have did this. But I just want to share some of the things. You take what you need, leave what you don't need, right? I think for me, in being a tax strategist, my daughter and I want to be able to share some of these warnings that we feel that can help. Reduce unnecessary spending immediately. Now, we're not saying, don't spend things, but some people go out there and splurge and be buying things they don't need to, right? Buying things that are going to sit in the closet and you're not going to use it. It's going to stay sitting in the closet with the price tag on it. The other thing I want to say is when you go shopping, don't go shopping hungry. If you're going food shopping, don't go shopping hungry. Try to have a list. Because if you go food shopping hungry and you don't have a list, you're going to buy everything. If you have a budget, you're going to go over the budget. I mean, it happens all the time. Somebody going, I'm just going to go in for a loaf of bread and some milk, and you end up having 3 or 4 bags. Oftentimes it happens. So if we can cut subscriptions, luxury spending, impulse buying, and try to be conscious of a cash flow for ourselves, that is going to make a difference. The second thing is build an emergency fund. Very important. At least 6 to 12 months of living expenses. Not so much as in the bank. I'm not saying put it in the bank, but if you have a safe, a place that you trust, a safe deposit box. I'm not saying don't keep your money in the bank. That's not what I'm saying, but do not keep all your money into a bank, because if the bank shuts down, then what? And it's been several situations where the bank had people couldn't get to their money. The ATM machine didn't work. The bank machines weren't working, and people was in a frenzy. They had to go to work. They needed gas. They needed lunch money. And people learned during that moment that I'll never keep all my money in the bank. So that's one thing you want to make sure you do, is build an emergency fund. If you can't do 6 to 12 months, do a month or 2, but start with something. And get out of high interest debt as soon as possible. Credit cards, predatory loans. Please get out of it as soon as possible. If you can try to consolidate loans, try to do that as quickly as possible, because the loans will crush you if the economy has a downturn for the worse. Because it's either you're going to be making decisions. Should I pay the credit card or should I eat? And we already know you ain't gonna pay the credit card, you're gonna eat. Should I pay the rent or should I pay the credit card? Well, we already know you got to have a place to live, so the credit card is going to suffer. Create yourself a spreadsheet, and I will share with everyone the spreadsheet, that similar spreadsheets that I use, that you can write all your credit cards in one column. Another column you put your interest rates. The next column you put the balance and the amount monthly. And once you see it in writing, it kind of gives you another sense of idea of what you need to be paying down first, because paying the highest interest first is the best way to get out of debt. Fastest way to get out of debt. Some people would pay the highest amount owed first. But guess what? If the highest amount that you owe has an interest rate of 10%, but you have another credit card that's 23%, which one is doing more damage over time? So you got to make sure that you are being conscious of how you are putting your spreadsheet together. So I would share that with everyone. Hopefully it would be helpful. You want to also, number 4, you want to protect your credit score, like your life depended on it. Now, let me say this. If you are not using your credit report, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, lock it. Lock it. Keep it locked. Okay? Because by keeping it locked, you don't have to worry about the chances of someone stealing your identity is less. If you have credit cards, if you're not using them, every credit card has a lock feature. Lock your credit cards. Lock your credit cards. So that way you don't have to worry about if someone was taking your credit or stealing your credit. In order for them to even charge anything, you have to first unlock it. You have to first unlock it. So lock those credit cards. Lock those credit cards. Now, the other thing I do want to say is, the 5th thing is diversify your income streams. I know some people got one paycheck coming in, and that's really high risk, in my opinion. I believe in multiple streams of income, having a side hustle or business income or passive revenue. This is extremely important because when you have one paycheck that's coming in, and say if it's your employer and you're only working one job, and God forbid you go in one day, it has happened where you get the pink slip. What are you going to do? You're going to draw unemployment. Now that's going to reduce your incomes. If you already living month to month, and if they cut your income, if you join unemployment, they're going to cut it by at least 15-20%. Now you may be in a worse situation financially. So coming up with another way to make money, is important. And we'll share some ideas if you like. Getting into real estate, for an example, it's a great way to create income. Starting a business is a great way to get income, especially if it's something that you enjoy. Some people love to golf. I was talking to a gentleman the other day. He said, listen, I love to golf. I got to golf at least 3 days a week. And he's an executive. I said, listen, you need to turn it into business. You're making $300,000 a year. You need to turn it into business and teach people how to golf. Turn it into a business. Now you can write off your phone that you normally wouldn't write off, will be able to write off. Your internet and anything else that may come with owning a business, and teaching golf. So you can be very, very creative. If you are sharing on social media, if you are content creator or you're sharing on social media and you don't really realize that you are really an influencer, okay? You're a marketer. You're marketing other people's information. So you need to take that serious. You can contact a business and say, hey, every time you bring out information, do you mind if you pay me $100 a month or $100 every 3 months? I will share all your content. You'd be surprised how many companies will hire you, especially if it's only a few dollars. But if you have 10 companies that you're sharing their information and each one is paying you $100 each, you'd be surprised how that adds up. I'm just brainstorming. The other thing, move money out of risky investments. Okay, risky investments. It's going to be the thing. And I don't know, Shakira, whether you've been keeping up with the stock market, especially with Bitcoins. Bitcoins have dropped. Okay, a week ago it was almost hitting 80,000. Now it's like 60,000 the last I checked. So Bitcoins is falling again. There's other things that are falling, but then there's other things that are increasing. Now, I say for me, I like investing in penny stock and startup companies. Penny stock and startup companies, okay? Because with penny stock, you can have $100 and invest it into a company. You can have $50 and invest it into a company. Even with penny stock, you can have a small amount and invest it. When Bitcoins first came out years ago, I invested $200. I invested $200 in Bitcoins. Didn't think anything else about it until it hit. And when it hit, I started looking for my password, trying to find out all my information. Couldn't. Oh my God, I was a basket case. I went into a depression during that time because that $200 was actually $3 million for me and my family. And it was life-changing. So right now, that money is sitting somewhere, and people do lose their passwords when you're dealing with Bitcoin. So you just have to be very, very careful when you are invested. But it was only $200, but in turn, it turned into millions. It turned into millions. The other thing I want to say is secure your housing situation. If you're renting, prepare for increases. If you're owning, understand your mortgage, taxes, and insurance now. Now, if you are renting, for an example, your landlord may be increasing your lease when it comes down for renewal because his mortgage may be going up for taxes and insurance, and he has to kind of like increase it to the rent, to the tenants. So prepare for that it may go up. Now, years ago, it had a cap where You only could be able to increase someone's rent by a certain percentage. That doesn't exist for certain states. You got to check with your state. Because some people during COVID, their rent went up almost $1,000 at one time. I got phone calls from people who have been renting houses and apartments for years, and all of a sudden, it may have went into another management's hands, or the landlord just had to increase it by 1,000. That's a financial hardship on a lot of people. That's a financial hardship. You have to move. How could you stay? Most people will have to move. So prepare for the increase. Now, the eighth thing, increase financial literacy immediately. Learn how your money works, your taxes, inflation, interest, access, protection matters more than anything else. Okay? You want to know, how does your money work for you? And getting into a financial literacy course can help you. A lot of the colleges have literacy classes that you can get for free. You can get for free where it don't even charge you any money. And you can sit in these classes and really learn what you need to know about how to make your money work better for you. Because there's good debt and there's bad debt. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Now, the other thing, review your retirement and long-term plans. Make sure they are diversified and not overly exposed to market crashes. Now, let me just tell y'all something. On your 401k, your 401b, your IRA, your self-employment plan, put it in your phone as an alert. Check it every month or every quarter. I have a lot of clients, we do, who never check it. I had clients during COVID just recently, matter of fact, had over $600,000 in their 401k plan, and they lost like 60,000. And they called me and asked me why. How did they lose it? But you are investing. It's a risk.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're keeping up with those things. Were you going to say something, Plum?
No, I was saying it's definitely a risk. You got to make sure that what you're invested in, is it risky? Is it modern? Is it, like, and you can set those things, and you can actually set it so it lets you know that when it drops to a certain point to pull you out and different
Yeah.
things. There's so many different settings to avoid that, but a lot of people don't even bother to look at it. They
Yeah.
just don't think nothing of it. And then when everything's gone and you're looking and you're confused, but it's nothing you can really do at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you have an IRA account, your employer is the one that is investing your IRA. So, you have to take all those things into account. And when that happens, you want to make sure you don't want to go from $600,000 and lose 50, because that $50,000 you could have took it and purchased an investment property and had passive income from it. Okay, so you definitely want to keep an eye out on your retirement plan. Set an alarm so you can continuously check it. Number 10, protect your personal data and finance. Freeze your credit report, like I said. If needed, use strong passwords and watch for fraud. Always, I freeze my credit reports no matter what. And I always, if I'm using my credit report, I have to always remember to unfreeze it so that I can use it, because sometimes you get distracted and you end up pulling it and no numbers come up because it's frozen. So then you have to unfreeze it for whoever you're doing business with to be able to pull the credit. So please, by all means, keep your credit frozen. Now, number 11, stock essentials, but don't panic. Buy. Be prepared for short situations that may come up that may interrupt and drain your finances. So again, which is similar to what I said before, is making sure when you buy, if you're buying, like Plum said a few minutes ago, making sure that you set it so it's less risky. Some people is like risking, I mean, I take chances. Don't get me wrong. I do. I take some chances, but I don't want to be taking too many chances where if you start off with $1,000 and you can lose a whole thousand, nobody wants to do that. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure you stay mindful. Now, also create a written financial survival plan. Know exactly what you'll do if the income drops, the market crash, or costs explodes. Now, I went to the store earlier and groceries are still high as hell. I'm like, man,
Very high. Everything is high. Groceries is high.
this
Everything
is
is high.
ridiculous.
Toiletries is high. Everything is on an
I
all-time
mean,
high with
for
no
just a
coupons.
gallon of orange juice, which I love, $10, $9.99.
What type of orange juice is that? $10. Jesus Lord.
Premium. But still, I mean, it's high.
Yeah, I remember when we first had the kids, and I want to say milk was around 2 something. Now it's 4 something a gallon. Like it's pretty much doubled in everything.
Now I did
Um
see eggs went down. It was like $1.79. I was like, what?
yeah, but whose eggs is these? Whenever stuff go drastically down, I always look at it sideways because I don't know where
They're
you
trying to
got
get rid of
this,
it.
where you built this egg at, because I don't know if this is really an egg or not. So little stuff like that. Sometimes I may grab the regular price because I don't trust it. It seemed little too good to be true. 99 cent. No thanks. I'm okay, like it's just. Mm-mm. But you have to do what you have to
Yeah,
do. I get it.
that's true.
For some
That's
people,
true.
but sometimes you got to look and be like, now this don't make no sense that is this low.
Right,
So
right. Crazy.
yeah.
Now, if America, and I pray that this does not happen, I pray that Elon Musk is, off target. But if the American USA went bankrupt, what happens? Now, I want to say banks may limit your withdrawals, right? ATMs could have daily caps, meaning they may cap it at $50 instead of you having like $600 or $500. Smaller or weaker banks could fail like it did in 2008. The government would likely step in to prevent the total collapse, but hey, how could they step in if they bankrupt? Now, as far as your IRA, in your 401k, it can't get snatched, right? But the market crash could wipe out the value. That's the bad part. And we don't want that to happen. So that means you have $150,000. If it goes bankrupt, it can go down to 20, 30,000. I'm just saying, be mindful. Social Security, it will not vanish right away, but it may be reduced in payments, may get less, or maybe delayed. We don't know. We don't know what to expect. These are just thoughts. The dollar may collapse. Inflation could spike. Buying power drops. Imports become more expensive than what they already are. And cost of living can even go higher than what it is. Now, I do want to say this, and this is something that you and I talk about all the time. The middle class and retirees are the one who's carrying America. I don't know whether anybody knows this or not, but the middle class and the retirees are carrying America, in my opinion, in my expertise opinion. I do want to say it's going to hurt the people that's living paycheck to paycheck. Anyone with high debt is going to hurt. Anyone that has one source of income is going to hurt. Okay. Now, I know many of you may be saying, well, how is the middle class carrying America? Let's talk about it for just a second before we go. Number one, the poor, they get EIC. That's free. They got earned income credit. They get a lot of credits. The middle class, their credits stop. If they make a certain amount of money, if they make $90,000, they don't even qualify for earned income credit. They don't qualify at all. Okay. And of course, a person who's a millionaire, billionaire, they're not going to be paying no taxes anyway, because they're going to put everything in a Schedule C and own nothing but control everything. So the middle class is the one that's going to be hurting the most. Keep that in mind. So I
There
hope
was
the
a
information that we shared was
sorry.
helpful. What
Just
you
real
want to
quick,
say?
there was a guy. I had told this story before. A guy that said, "I'd rather either be really poor or really rich. I do not want to be in the middle." He said, if you're really poor, you get food stamps, you get all this assistance in the world, you get free health care. You know, as far as like, you know, you ain't paying no copays, you ain't paying really for nothing. But once you hit that middle class button, you ain't getting no
Yep,
food stamps, you ain't getting no assistance, you don't get any type of assistance with daycare, with any of those things.
that's
But then if
true.
you're a millionaire now, I can structure it so that I'm going to deposit, what was it? Was it, if I could remember correctly, a certain amount as far as donations to bring down my taxable income. I'm going to basically try to give, I won't say give all my money away, but I'm going to make it seem like I ain't got nothing so that I don't pay no taxes, but I got everything. So it's very unfortunate. I just hope and pray that everybody can find something that is going to be able to help keep them not just afloat, but to be able to strive and thrive.
Yeah.
I don't want you just scratching and surviving. And you know, a lot of us is in boats where it's hard. It's very, very hard. But understand that there is something to be made by everything that God has placed in us. So tap into that and maximize on that, and God will see you through. And that's it.
Amen. I truly,
Hey, Bree.
yeah. Hey, sunshine. How are you, Sade? Okay, so it's over 7 o'clock. One
Yes.
of the things I do want to tell everybody to please happy um have a happy Valentine's Day that's coming up, right? We have a Valentine's Day that's coming up, which is next Saturday.
Yes.
Next
14.
Saturday? Yes. Okay, next Saturday. Please enjoy, be safe, have a good week. But one of the things I do want to um, share with everybody, I think many of us know the song for Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry, you know that song?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to sound off with that song. And I think I want to, let me just say here, we're not missing any comments, correct? We're
No.
good. Want to say happy Black History Forever to everyone. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me?
I don't hear any music. Or were you just doing acapella? I'm sorry if you was doing acapella, because I don't hear any music. Did you have music in the background?
I sure did. We was getting
Oh.
down. Y'all couldn't hear the music? You didn't hear it?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't hear the music.
All right, well, I'm just going to sing a little bit of it then.
Okay.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with a harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy y'all week. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. See y'all next week. God bless. Football.
God bless.